So, welcome to NXTGEN Season 11 Modern Touring Cars. Now, for tonight, we've just had the Group A's. If you've missed that, do go check it out. It was an interesting race, especially towards the end for the lead. But we're here at Algarve for the Modern Touring Cars, so instead of the old Mercedes 190Es, we get the newer models like the Mercedes A-Class, the Renault Megane, the Opel Astra, and the BMW 320i. Two BMWs running so far tonight, otherwise quite a lot of Meganes and Mercedes, I think, is the main course of the championship. So the standings coming into round 8 here at Algarve are as follows. NGR Scooby G, as we watch Shadow Stalker go really sideways up over the hill and into the gravel trap there towards the 90-degree right-hand bend in his Mercedes. So NGR Scooby G leads the championship on 234 points. NGR Omega 1984 is second with 226 points, only 8 points in it. Shadow Racing JCB is third with 218 points. NGR Fraser is fourth with 185 points. Jack TM53 Synopsis is fifth with 178 points. NGR Ginge is sixth with 146 points. Sandwalk 03, who we're seeing now and is a little bit wide through turn 1. Have to go careful. There is 7th with 118 points. NGR Royston is 8th with 97. Bleak 55 is 9th with 89. Shadowstalker DBS is 10th with 77. Lee W07 is on 67 in 11th. NGR Martin only 2 points behind him on 65, and NGR Tim 78 only 2 points behind that on 63 in 13th. Slider Gas 28 is 14th with 53 points. Bill 007 is 15th with 39 points. The Hon GWBL is 16th with 27 points. Whitford 0, as we watch Sandwalk go completely sideways into that right-hander. Goes up over the hill. Whitford 0 is in 17th with 22. Suzuki RMZ is 18th with 19. James Hunt 777 is 19th with 15 points, and Ropsk is 20th with 13 points. So we're obviously here at Algarve, a 2.91 mile circuit with 13 turns on the book. So currently being the first pole position time is NGR Omega 1984, followed by Shadow Racing JCB, who is 2 tenths behind that in his Megane. NGR Fraser is putting a time for third place at the moment in his Megane. Also running through the drives of the night. Jack TM53 Synopsis is in a Megane, currently third. NGR Ginge is in a Megane. Lee W07 is in Megane. Sandwalk 3 is in Megane. Make sure I haven't missed anyone. Slider Gas 28 is in a BMW. Caesar 82 is in a BMW as he spins through the first corner. There's Lee W in his Megane. Sandwalk 3 is in a Megane. NGR Royston is in a Megane. NGR Martin is in a Megane. Charlie Stalker is in a Mercedes A-Class. Whitford 0 is also in a BMW. And NGR Scooby G, the current championship leader, also in a Megane. So a very Megane influenced championship then, this one. As we go around Algarve, there's Omega 1984. Around the end of the lap. So the way the format for this championship is as follows. the damage is off, the mechanical failures are off, the tyre wear is on real, so they will suffer some tyre wear during the race. Fuel usage is off, room rankings on. Force pit stops are not on. The rules, regs and penalties, so track limits are on in this race. The cars are default setups and no assists apart from ABS. There's obviously a sunny day today in Algarve. And the schedule as far as we go, we have this 15-minute qualifying session for race 1, which is going to be 14 laps, followed by a 5-minute qualifying shootout for race 2, which will also be 14 laps long. So that will mean pretty much around here 2 laps, possibly less than that. To watch Omega go up through towards turn 6, I think that is. I want that on. I want that one on. Go towards Craig Jones and up to Portimao on this lap for Omega, as that is NGR Fraser, who's pipped him by 0.143 of a second at the moment. Up through Portimao for Omega. Down the hill into turn 10. And up towards turn 11. Through turn 11 and up towards Sagres. Through Sagres they go. And down towards Galp, which is, he's obviously decided to back out of this lap and he's going to go again. Either that or it just looks really slow coming out of there. Through Galp he comes. Very hard if you get it wrong, very easy if you get it right in that corner. Nope, he is coming into the pits, says Omega. As is Fraser. Scooby G, your current championship leader from Omega by 8 points, is currently there. Starting the third at the moment, 0.4 off the pace. Very, very tight so far. The top 6 covered by less than 9/10 of a second. Now, I don't know what cameras the boys use, but this is what the cockpit view would be like. Let's enjoy a lap of Scuba G in silence. Now, this normally doesn't work, but let's have a go. There we go, as we exit through Galp. Unfortunately, not a flying lap there, but it does give you a sense of the track. So, the current order so far with 4 minutes left on the clock is NGR Fraser is still in provisional pole position. Does he improve on his time, or is this just an outlap for him? I think that might be an outlap. NGR Omega is currently in second, 0.143 behind, with Scooby G in third. Shadow Racing JCB is currently in fourth, with Jack TM53 Synopsis is in fifth. Slightly Gas 28 has spun, and that is at turn number 6, just before Samsung. He currently says 6th. NXTGEN is in 7th at the moment, and here's McGann, 0.844 off the pace. NGR Martin is in 8th, followed by Lee W07, and here's McGann. NGR Royston is currently in 10th, with Whitford 0 in 11th. Caesar looks like he's just had a spin there into Samsung, but he sits 12th right now. And here's BMW. Sandwook 3 is 13th, 3.5 off the pace. And Shadowstalker DBS in the sole running Mercedes, currently in 14th. Now, I don't think he's had a good lap yet. He's 8.7. You can see there the car just doesn't look like it wants to slow down too much. I wish we could change those. Oh, that is a big spin. That is slider gas. He has spun through Gulp, and that is a scary moment for the man who is literally going straight past him. Omega has set a fastest lap for pole position, 0.331 faster than Fraser, and Fraser he does go faster, but he's gonna have to try another lap because he's not fast enough. There's Scooby sat in 4th. But yeah, that's a very scary moment for anyone going through Gulp with slider gas going backwards across the track there. Oh, he's got the Astra on the outside again. He doesn't want to be doing that in that car. Remember, BMW is the only one that's rear-wheel drive, so look out for them off the start line, but also look out for them through the race because they will be easier to spin. I guarantee you that one. There's NXTGEN. Running behind Whitford. As he goes into Samsung. And up toward Craig Jones and through to Portimao. Should be flat through Craig Jones, up the hill. Hit the brakes, are very easy to lose the rear end up through here. Hits the apex, through Portimao, lovely, as we go down towards turn 10. And towards turn 11 we come. So nicely tucked in there, there are 40 seconds left on the clock as he goes towards Sagres. Through Sagres it is, and down towards Gulp. The final corner. There goes James through Gulp and out onto the main straight for the final time. I'd have thought Whitford all over the shop coming out of Gulp. Yeah, that would have been a bit scary for him. Cross the line doesn't improve for NXTGEN, he stays 7th. Omega, I think that's qualifying over now for Omega. He's decided no one's beating his time anymore. Qualifying is now over. Whoever that is crossing the line now. That is game over for him. We watch Jack. Try and get to the front. There we go. Sandwalk 3. The next man to post his time. Can he improve on 8th position? Comes up to cross the line now. He doesn't improve. Stays in 8th. Who's that next across the line? It's Shadowstalker DBS. Can he improve? No, he doesn't. He stays where he is. And Royston, as soon as the camera picks him back up again. There we go. Currently on 11th. Can he improve on 11th? Yes, he does. He goes up to 2/10. Demoting Lee W. There's Whitford. Jack TM53 Synopsis currently in 5th. Literally 1,000th of a second behind Shadow Racing JCB. Can he pull out just a little bit extra to put himself 4th on the grid and on that second row for the race start? Comes up towards the main straight we come. He puts on the brakes. He is not going to improve on that time. Here comes Whitford 0. Can he improve on his time from 12th place? No, he stays 12th. Interesting stuff that from Jack. He's about to do a practice start. Bit of wheel spin. He crosses the line to end his qualifying session. So your qualifying is over. And NGR Omega 1984 is your pole sitter, followed by NGR Fraser, Scooby G, Shadow Racing JCB, Jack TM 53 Synopsis, Slider Gas 28, NGR Ginge Sandwalk 3, NGR Martin, Royston, Lee W, Whitford, CZ 82, and Shadowstalker DBS rounds out the grid. As we sync now, ready for the start here at Algarve. And we are green here at Algarve. Who's got the best start? Look at those. Look for those BMWs. Yes, look at that. That Slider Gas already up into 3rd place now as he comes down towards turn 1 down the main straight. Can he make it into 1st position? Oh, and a collision between Slider Gas and Omega. I don't think Omega spotted him. And that is NGR Ginge, I think, running wide. So everyone bunches up into the into the first hairpin of the track. There, Shadow Racing JCB getting past, and that is action behind. Oh, and that is even bigger action there. Shadowstalker DBS. And there's not a sandbox though. Royston. And that's Whitford getting a bit of a tap coming out of the hairpin. But a big shunt that for Shadowstalker DBS. Looking at gaps now, the lead is now with Slider Gas again in that BMW with NGR Ginge right on his tail. Followed by Shadow Racing JCB. That's Omega, then Fraser, then Scooby, then Martin. Apologies for having to go through just NGR tags, and it is impossible to tell the difference without having a livery sheet with you. Slider Gas continues to lead here at Algarve as they hit turn 11. In to Sagres they come. And that's a time penalty already. Scooby G with a second time penalty for cutting the corner. But Slider Gas leaves by now 6/10 of a second. Onto the main straight we go. Shadow Racing JCB now looking to attack Ginger down the main straight. We have got a bit of battling going on down this main straight. You can just see a sea of McGanns. I mean, it's crazy. But that BMW is working its legs. But Shadow Racing JCB still down the inside of NGR Ginge. Can he complete the move? Yes, he can, but oh, hello. Bit of rubbing there, bit of touring car rub, and that is Ginge almost around, and carnage behind them. Omega, Fraser, and Scooby G coming together through through Lagos. Two of them, the main championship contenders, number 1 and 2. And Omega goes down the inside. Oh, and there's a tap there from Whitford. to Fraser, which will allow Scooby G through into ninth there. Remember, Scooby G has a second penalty as well to contend with. Back at the front, Shadow Racing JCB has caught back up with Slider Gas 28. Ginsden, Jack, then Martin. Then a couple of seconds back to Caesar, who's got about a second to Omega. Fraser, Scooby, Whitford, Lee W, Royston, Sandwalk, and Shadowstalker at the back, losing a fair bit of time right now. Slider Gas has lost it. That is the mistake that people would be expecting from the BMW. He's lost the back end under the brakes, and that is goodbye for Slider Gas's lead. And that was Scooby G having a big moment. Bit of rubbing there. So Lee W now makes a move on Scooby G into 10th place there, going through Sagres. Back at the front though, a train of 4 Megans lock out those top 4 positions. Shadow Racing JCB leading Ginge, leading Jack. Oh, and that was Jack and Martin having a bit of interesting touches there. But they all make it through to Lagos for the 3rd time in clean air. Slider Gas now down to 6. He's made another mistake, which has allowed Caesar 82 to go through. And now he has Omega on the back of him, who has Fraser on the back of him. Scooby has dropped off a bit. He's got a gap to Royston, who's got Sandblock coming up behind him. Whitford and Lee W have both made mistakes as we go back up to the front, because NGR Ginger's right on the back of our leader, Shadow Racing JCB. As we head through Sagres. Sorry, no, that's Samsung. Down toward Craig Jones we go. And Jack looks like he's always having a look, filling the mirrors for Ginge as he comes up to Portimao. Through Portimao they come. Line astern. Different lines all through there, all of them work. Hit the brakes. Into turn 11 now. Shadow Racing currently 3rd in the championship. We go through then. Let's have a look with Martin on board. He's got the best view of this battle so far. Front row seat, and that's a bit wide there from Ginge. He wouldn't like that at all, would he? Hit the brakes for Primera, and through the flick right, which is turn 2. Up to Lagos. Through the left-hander, down the straight. And let's move up one car. Look at that, how close they are getting to the hairpin. That is, we're right on board with Jack TM53 Synopsis, who's on the back of Ginge, who's on the back of Shadow Racing, and we have NGR Martin behind us. They hit the brakes for turn 6, and into Samsung we go. He's on the back of him, he's looking around the outside, but gets just squeezed out, but he does look down the inside now. Through Craig Jones we come. He's going to be on the outside for Portimao, but can he get a switchback potentially? He brakes slightly earlier. He hits the apex, gets the power on. Coming up now through turn 10 up to turn 11. Hit the brakes, turn left. Bit of a lock up there from Ginge. You see the different lines that we're taking on board with Jack here, trying to get a run out of the corner. To come down towards Galp for the 4th time of 14. Again, Ginge using that wider line. I think it's going to cost him a bit of time though, and we hit the slipstream now with Jack. Into the toe we go. is a massive straight, so the toe is very significant around Algarve. He's looking to the inside now. He hits the brakes, goes down the inside of Ginge, and he's completed that move through turn 1. That's a fantastic move from Jack TM53, set him up. But here comes Ginge on the return. He's done the switch back through turn 1 and got him through Lagos. That's a fantastic bit of tactical driving from Ginge, letting him through turn 1 but getting the run into Lagos. They hit the brakes down into Torre. Go up through the left-hander towards turn 6. And a bit of action going on behind as well, but these 4 for the lead. NGR Fraser under pressure from Scooby. Scooby trying to go around the outside of turn 6. And he'll have to go around the outside of Samsung if he wants to keep that there. He's got the overlap before Craig Jones. He's done him before Craig Jones. That's a fantastic move. Round the outside of Samsung. Go Scooby into 6th place. He's going to have to build up a 1 second gap now. Speaking of that gap, yes, it is 1 second for Scooby, and now Fraser. Fraser has been given a 1 second penalty as well. So all Omega has to do is stick with them for a second, and that is Jack has now finally got past NGR Ginge and stayed ahead of him for 2nd place here on lap number 5 round Portimao. Algarve, shall I say, as we go down the main straight for the 5th time. The top 4 really battling, and another battle is Omega and Fraser. Scooby G just over a second right now ahead. Comes Omega down the inside of turn 1. Fraser will look to get the switch back, which he does significantly. A fantastic bit of driving that from Fraser, and a fantastic bit of driving from the next gen boy Snipe here at Algarve. But this is allowing Scooby G to get away, preserving his 1 second time penalty and taking more points out of his championship rival. As we look at the lead, and there is a battle for the lead going on. Shadow Racing literally just about defending that position away from Jack TM53, and now Ginger's looking around the outside of turn 6, not quite there though, he can't quite make it. Let's go on board again with Martin. Have a look, see what's going on up front. Very good front row seat this is for us. Martin, a completely different line to everyone else through Craig Jones and up towards Portimao. And that is Jack almost having a look at Shadow Racing JCB up at the top there. And Ginge goes defensive. Martin goes around the outside, maybe looking for a double switch back here. He'll try and switch back here and then switch back into here, but he's not quite alongside to force it. Through Sagres they go, and down towards Gap for the 6th time tonight. This is a fantastic bit of racing they're doing tonight here at NXTGEN. Across the line to start the halfway lap. And oh, big lock up there for Ginge, a bit of a lock up, and that has distracted Martin and sent him slightly wider than usual. But that is Jack going down the inside, no, trying to go around the outside, sorry, of Shadow Racing. He's now going to look around the outside of Torre Vip. Hit the brakes. Hits them later, and he's done him round the outside. There's a fantastic move through Torre Vip, and now Shutterstalker has a 1 second penalty for starters, but now Ginger's looking down the inside of turn 6. Should get that. Does get that as he heads up towards Samsung. Shadow Racing still there for Craig Jones though. That's a fantastic bit of hold work around the outside of Samsung. Around Craig Jones we go. NGR Ginge still on the inside for Portimao. They come out of Portimao side by side, down towards turn 11, but Shadow Racing sticks it out. And it is a 1 second time penalty for Shadow Racing for corner cutting. Here the brakes for Sagres. Jack TM53. Synopsis is looking strong right now. I'm down the main straight to complete the halfway stage of this race. As he come down to Tory Vip. And that is very wide from Ginge, and that will lose him a position to NGR Martin. Now what they haven't noticed here is they've been scrapping so much that Scooby G is catching up and bringing slider gas along with them. There's Omega, who's finally got past NGR Fraser. Sandrock has Royston coming up behind him. Whitford has Lee W07 for company. We come up to turn number 6. Through turn 6 they go. Samsung and towards Craig Jones we come. Through Craig Jones, Lee W. Not quite there for a move into Portimao, but Shadow Racing is still hassling Jack right now. And there's Scooby G, the man with a 1 second time penalty to his name. Shadow Racing now holding up Martin. Scooby G on the back now of Ginge. Looks to the inside, thinks better of it. Gets a better line through turn 1. Can he use that? Ginge goes straight to the inside. He looks to the inside of Martin now, who's tried to go around the outside, but not quite worked. And Scooby G looks like he can possibly do both of them. He's done Martin. He's not actually going to be close enough, or is he? He's going to go down the inside. Oh, a bit of rubbing into the hairpin. Slider gas didn't have anywhere to go. Tried to get out of it, couldn't quite. Hits Martin, but that is a move from Scooby G. And now Ginge has a time penalty. I believe that will be for corner cutting. Yes, a 1 second time penalty to Ginge. Fraser now has a 2 second time penalty. So right now, the man in the best position is Martin, who will make up 3 places, but Slider Gas is going down the inside of him through Portimao. That'll be an impressive move. And he's got it completed. Yes, he has. He's passed Martin down through Portimao. A fantastic move and opportunistic from Slider Gas 28. In that BMW, as we look back to the front, Jack TM53 defending for his life. Here on lap number 9 against Shadow Racing JCB. There goes NGR Ginge. There's Scooby G. There's Slider Gas with Martin right on his back, and the cameraman can't stick with Martin. That's fantastic from Project Cars. Thank you. They come down that main straight. Will Martin have a think into turn 1? He does feel the mirror. He leaves have a tighter line, and that has lost him time, I'm afraid. He's decided to have a look, but he's not quite pulled back out again. So, not brilliant out from Martin. As we get back up to the front, because Shadow Racing JCB is, quite frankly, pushing. Jack down the road. It is a Tora VIP for the 10th time tonight. Turn 6 we go. And up towards Samsung. Someone in the pit, I think that's a retiree of some sort. Shadow Racing still in second. Slider Gas has fallen off the back of this pack. There's Martin and there's Omega. There's Fraser behind. Race just starting to stretch out a bit. Ever so slightly stretching out a bit. Back with the leading duo though. Shadow Racing trying to get past Jack. If you can get past Jack, get a 1 second gap, you can still win this race. Down the main straight they go, and Scooby having a quick look and filling Ginger's mirrors, and this is for position. Second to fourth, if they're all scrapping, it's full position. He looks down the inside of turn 6, coming out to turn 6, around the outside of turn 6. Now he's done this before, he doesn't quite have the overlap this time. Bit of a lock up from Ginge, sending him wide through Samsung. That's going to leave him vulnerable through Craig Jones. Scooby G can keep around the outside of Craig Jones, he'll have a chance into Portimao. He's still got the overlap. He's still there for Portimao, he's down the inside at Portimao. And a fantastic move from Scooby G. That's for position, and that is up to third place for the championship leader. Was at the front, Shadow Racing, still battling. Oh, and that's Scooby G now wide through turn 11 as he comes into Sagres. It's not quite on the inside either, although he has been given room by Ginge. That's a fantastic bit of driving. So Ginge reclaims third place from Scooby G to come back onto the main straight for the 11th time tonight. See Ginge instantly going defensive, making use of that. No, that must be about 6 car widths wide straight down there. It's like a motorway. And Sandwalk 3 has been given a track limits penalty. So NGR Ginge still battling off Scooby G here, and the battle for the lead still continues at 0.156. Even though Shadow Racing has to get a second gap if he does overtake Jack. There's been some sensational racing tonight from the Modern Touring Car Championship. Scooby G has finally got past Ginge now through the hairpin, but Ginge is not giving up lightly, almost looking around the outside of Samsung. But that's a move done and a move complete from Scooby G. That is for position, that is in third now. And that has brought Slider Gas into play for that 1 second penalty. He is within that window. Not quite for Scooby, but definitely in the window now for Ginge. Slider Gas will be having a look here to see if he can potentially make up the place anyway on Ginge to try and get on the back of Scooby. So we go back to the front. Shadow Racing has overtaken Jack for the lead. Now he just has to get a second in front of him, which is quite frankly easier said than done with this field of cars. They are so equally matched, mainly because 3/4 of the field are McGanns. They're so evenly matched right now. It's as Jack looks back down the inside, ready for the third turn here. Yes, he's got him down the inside through Lagos. A little bit of bumping and barging, quite happy in touring car racing, and Jack takes back the lead. And now Shadow Racing has to do it all over again, and he has to be careful because if Scooby G catches up to him, that is for position. And that is Slider Gas looking down the inside of Ginge and passing Ginge through that left-hander as we come up towards turn number 6. Through Samsung to go, and Ginge goes slightly wide and loses more time to Slider Gas, so Slider Gas is up to 4th. This is another close battle, Martin and Omega. Martin not quite there to have a look at Portimao. There's Martin and Omega go through Gulp. Back to the lead as we go, and Scooby has really closed in on the top 2 as we go on to the final lap here at Algarve for race 1. And Shadow Racing really having a look, because now he's got Scooby right on his tail, and they're both racing for position. He has to stay in front of Scooby to have any chance of that second place. And Scooby looks at the inside of Shadow now as we go through the flick left up towards turn 6. We've seen it go around the outside of Samsung before, and he's not afraid. He looks like he's not afraid to do it again. A bit of bumping and budging, and that is Scooby G off into the gravel. And Samsung. Shadow Racing continues on. But that has cost Scooby G dearly. He's now down back to 5th. He's lost a couple of positions. A bit of bumping and a bit of barging, a bit of rubbing. And unfortunately, Scooby G's car decides to... It was too much and gave up. And headed straight for the gravel trap on the outside of Samsung. So Jack has got a... Oh my word, Jack has got a track limits penalty as well. This is full position coming into Galp. This could change everything if the slipstream is strong enough for Shadow Racing. If he's got a good enough run out of Galp, he could take this win right now. Comes out of Galp. But I don't think it's enough, you stupid camera. Go back to the cars. And Jack, TM53 Synopsis, takes the race 1 win away from Shadow Racing JCB. Slider Gas 28 is 3rd. Ginge is 4th. Scooby is 5th. Martin is 6th. Omega will come home in 7th, followed by NGR Fraser. Oh yes, I am liking that. Good Sir Omega. Hats off to you, sir. That is a phenomenal roll over the start-finish line. Sandwalk 3 finishes 9th. Royston comes home in 10th. Caesar 82 coming through Gulp. Omega is back on his wheels, thankfully, again. Caesar 82 comes down the main straight. He will come home in a very well driven 11th with that BMW, with Whitford in 12th. Shadow Stocko still going through Portimao. So what necessity crashing is going on? Slowdigas very happy with his win, with his third place there. Fantastic stuff from the man in the BMW. You look at Shadow Stalker going through Gulp. Well, here's final time. And that is coming home for 13th and the last classified finisher. So the results from race number 1 here at Algarve. Jack takes the win from Shadow Racing. Slaughtergas takes 3rd in his BMW. Ginge 4th. Scooby 5th. Martin is 6th. Omega 7th. Fraser is 8th. Sandwalk 3 is 9th. Royston is 10th. Caesar is 11th. Whitford 12th. Shadow Stalker 13th. And Lee W retired on lap number 8. So a fantastic race 1 here, and we will be back. I'll be back shortly to bring you the 5-minute shootout for qualifying and also race number 2. So as we wait for the second qualifying session to get underway, I believe should be a 5 minutes shootout. There we go. 5 minute shootout. This is going to be interesting because you can have any sort of grid from this. You make one mistake on your lap and it is done for. Not the easiest of circuits is to get the string a lap together. Bear in mind it's going to take them about 2.25 minutes minimum to get around the circuits. They're probably going to get 2 laps out of this. But whether they only fill up for 1 flying lap could be the dangerous side of things here, really. So here we go, the 5 minute blast. There's the number 1 car of NGR Omega. Fraser not going out yet, Whitford not going out, Caesar not yet, Martin no, Shadow Racing is, Royston not, Slightly Gas is now going out, Jack yes, Scooby G staying in, Lee W going out, Shadow Stalker staying in, Sandbox just going out, there's Omega, and Ginger's the first one out on track. So it's 4 minutes 30 done. And that's just getting out of the pit lane. Who's that up ahead? That is Lee W07 in the monster car. And comes out Tory Vip. 3 minutes 50 left on the clock. They're going to get 2 laps here, I think. Quite comfortably as well, so 2 chances then to get the perfect lap. And Martin's still not gone out. He really is confident then. He is confident enough. He only needs 1 lap. Either that or he's got a qualifying ban. Should not be handy for him. As EW now comes down towards turn 11. So as Lee W comes to start his first flying lap. And he has NGR Ginge, and yeah, that's wide. So NGR Ginge, wherever he is on my screen, there he is. We'll assume the leading car, so that's not going to be the perfect lap for Lee W there. Then Georgians goes through Portimao. Down through Galp and down the main straight we come with Ginge. He sets his time. It's going to be 1:53.6 to begin with. He's got one more flying lap to do. Sandwalk just going out. That is no good. He will not get a time in. Martin, I can only assume he's got a qualifying ban of some description, because he's not gone out the pits. Sandwalk will be starting near the back with him though. Because, yeah. Slider Gas sets in a 52.2 to take provisional pole so far in the BMW. Jack has had enough of qualifying. He's happy with his lap. Omega sat in third, 8/10. Ginge is now fourth. Sees at 82 is fifth. And that is... Scooby G puts one in for fourth place, as qualifying is now over. So if they're on a lap, they can continue on and finish it. There's Whitford in 8th. Royston 9th. Shadow Racing down in 10th. He's really got to get this lap together for this one. Lee W, same again. There's Shadow Stalker, 8 seconds off the pace. Decided he doesn't want to participate anymore in qualifying. Then John Martin will not start last. Sandwalk will. Two teammates though. There's Slider Gas as Angel Fraser has put a time of 1:52.180 to put in a provisional pole for this current qualifying session. There's Scooby G, current championship leader, going into tonight. And Georgians comes across the line. Does he set at any faster time? He does, but he doesn't improve his position. Lee W, well, where will he come? He will put himself up to 7th place after that lap, which is a fantastic effort. But Shadow Racing puts himself up into 6th. Slider Gas couldn't improve, so he stays in 2nd. Scooby G is 4th. Going through Galp now. He's got the ability to put Fraser out of pole. Over the start finish line he comes. He doesn't improve, and that's back to the pits for him. Racing is finished. Ginger's finished. He's finished. Whitford finished. Lee W finished. Everyone has finished their qualifying. So the grid looks like this. Fraser, Slider Gas, Jack, Scooby, Omega, Shadow Racing, Ginge, CZ, Whitford, Lee W, Royston, Shadow Stalker, DBS, Martin, and to round it out, Sandwalk 3, both did not set a time. Confirmation there of your top 10 qualifying contenders. Ready for race 2. 14 more laps here at Algarve to be raced. As we await for race 2 to get underway here at Algarve. As we get underway here at Algarve. Will Slider Gas get that same sort of start? I think he has. He's up into second, and will he look down the inside of Fraser into turn one? Yes, he will. That BMW quick off that line, but he's gone a bit wide, and Fraser straight back down the inside before Lagos. Looks like a bit of bunching in the background. Shadow Stalker there. But Fraser leads out of Lagos through turn 3. Through the pack, and that is Ginge and Lee W fighting. So they come down to Torre Vet, but now Scooby is there to try and take advantage. He looks down the inside, brakes really early. And that allows Lee W around the outside, maybe? Not quite, no. Further behind. No, we already have a retirement. Don't know who that is, it won't tell me. Yep, won't tell me on there. But we have a retirement early in this race, and that's Whitford up to third. Slider Gas has spun it at Samsung. And that is Jack TM53, so maybe a bit of contact there for both of those. But Fraser now has a 1.6 second lead here at Algarve. There's Whitford in the BMW trying to hold off Ginge and Scooby, and immediately Lee W with a 1 second time penalty. 2 second time penalty even for corner cutting. That was not on his agenda. Turn down the main straight for the first time. Fraser still leads from Jack. But as we have a look now, Scooby having a look down the inside of the pair. No, he decides that's not going to work. There's Whitford, and there's Ginge down the inside. Can Whitford get around? No, he can't, but Scooby will take 4th place, which is a fantastic bit of driving. Following Ginge through. I have a feeling it's Caesar that has... yes, it is. Caesar has retired from the race on lap number 1. Ginge defends from Scooby. Go up through to turn 6 and towards Samsung. The number 2 car, Ginge. Fraser continuing to pull away in the front, 2.3 now the gap. Ginge continues to keep this man behind him. Scooby G looking at the back now of Ginge. Looking maybe for a switch back. Will he force Ginge? He has forced Ginge onto a very slightly tighter line now, so he's going to look for a switch back for Galp. Not quite going to get it though. Head towards Galp. A bit of a later turn in from Scooby. He's going to carry more pace through Galp as well. That is a sensational amount of speed he's now got. Right on the back. We're almost eating the bumper of Ginge. Scooby moves to the outside. The inside for turn number 1. Gets on the brakes. Both of them in, and very nicely done by Scooby, not allowing Ginge to get back underneath him for the switchback towards Lagos. Fantastic driving from the championship leader. Lee W having a fight with Whitford for 5th. Now Whitford just has to stay within 2 seconds now of Lee W to take that position for the end of the race here on lap number 3. Come down towards the hairpin. And that's interesting. That's a corner cut penalty. 2 seconds worth as well. Don't want to do that. Very interesting there. So Shadow Racing currently showing on your screen there as the 3rd has a 2 second penalty. Now the guys If anyone has the leaderboard on their head-up display, they will see that and they will understand that they will not have to overtake Shadow Racing to overtake him overall positionally wise. 2.4 now the gap between Fraser and Shadow Racing. And that is, I'm led to believe Scooby slowing down, maybe for a warning of corner cutting. It doesn't want another penalty again. So as we go through the field, that is Jack TM53 Synopsis there, trying to close the gap on Martin and Royston. Gas way at the back of the pack right now. He's about 5 seconds off of Shadowstalker DBS. There's Martin. And in front of him we have Sandok 3. Sandok 3, yes. Through the hairpin they go then. NGR Martin right in the back of Sandrock 3, who has Royston on the back of him. So we head back up to third place. Scooby all over the back of Ginge, who has Lee W over the back of him. Who has Whitford on the back of him, who has Omega for company as well. So Whitford looking like he had a good exit from Samsung. And that is Ginge having to defend from Scooby. Head through turn 11 up to turn 11 we go then. The long left-handed hairpin. Up and the long hairpin right of Sagres. Down they go and towards Galp. For the 4th time of 14 in race number 2. NGR Ginge just having a good look in defence. And Whitford going a bit wide out of Galp. Ginge finally deciding that it's time to go defensive, but Scooby G has decided he can't actually overlap him. Looks into turn 1. Has another look into turn 1. He's on the inside of turn 1, but can't quite get the pace through without a potential crash there, so very good for pulling out of that one. We have a look at behind, and that is Omega passing Whitford for 6th. Go back to Ginge and Scooby. On board with Scooby G, the man in 4th place. Ahead of us is Ginge for 3rd, and what could be 2nd if they stay within 2 seconds of Shadow Racing JCB. Hit the brakes. Into Samsung they go, and up towards Craig Jones. Nothing between them. Hit the brakes into Portimao. Having the back end drifting through there was Ginge. And that presents the opportunity for Scooby G. He now looks around the outside for turn 11. He's got to switch back through turn 11. He's going to force Ginge here to defend into Sagres. But he's going to have a tap from Lee W from behind. And I hate to say this, but Ginge has got himself a track limits penalty. Yes, Scooby with Omega behind him. Lee W behind that Whitford. Sandrock has got a time penalty as a Shadowstalker DBS. This is a nasty track for penalties, really, for all these guys. Let's have a look. 2 seconds for Shadow Racing. 1 second for Ginge. 2 seconds for Lee. 1 second for Sandrock. And a second there for Shadowstalker. As we get back to the action. So more pressure put on Ginge after that shortcut penalty. And he lets him through. That's an interesting tactic from Ginge. I think that is going to be a cut track penalty. He's having to slow down for. He doesn't want to get another one. That drops him way down into 7th now, here on lap number 6. Train of cars going through Algarve today. There is your leader by 4.1 seconds. It's NGR Fraser. Quite happy out in front right now. Nothing to worry about, won't have to take any risks with the corners. Shadow Racing is 4 seconds behind. But he's got to go careful, he's got a 2-second penalty and Scooby G is right in that window. With Omega not far behind that either. There's Lee W also with a 2-second penalty, so he's not safe from Whitford. Who has Ginge on the back of him, who does have a 1-second penalty, and Sandrock, who's got a 2nd penalty. All for track limits. As the trainer cars make their way down the main straight for the 6th time tonight. Go towards turn 1, down the hill. Hard brake, we watch Sandrock 3. We go on board with Sandwalk just to see what's going on up ahead, to give a bit of a clearer vision. On board the cockpit, and let's go in on board with Ginge here. They hit the brakes, turn the car in. By the power and a bit squirrely there from Whitford, but he just about controls it enough to stop Ginge from having a go. They go into turn number 6 and up towards Samsung. Through Portimao they go. And that is a slight tap and Whitford is round. Very unfortunate that for the BMW driver, literally the merest of touches. And that is sideways, and that's Omega that has gone round. That's an interesting place to go round. He just lost the back end and couldn't quite save it. So Omega dropping down the field to the delight of this man, Scooby G, who's all over the back of Shadow Racing, coming down the main straight. Looks to the inside. He's going to go for the inside. That's a fantastic move. Almost very tentatively moving out and then deciding, yeah, there's definitely room there. Fantastic racing from Scooby. I don't think he could have done that any better. They head down now to Tory Vip, and Geoffrey has a 4.7 second gap to start this second half of the race. So W, there's NGR Ginge, now Martin in a good position to take advantage of all this if he can stay within that window. And funny enough, Ginge could still take Lee W without overtaking him. Because Ginge only has a 1-second penalty compared to the W's 2. So as they head up towards Portimao for the 8th time, he looks on the inside for Ginge, and that is a fantastic move into Portimao. Very, very creative. Just send it in on the inside, and a fantastic bit of driving there from Lee W to not pull across on him. That makes it up into 4th now for Ginge. Having a good week, good night tonight for the modern TC. Scooby G has ditched Shadow Racing. Good and proper. He's put on a 1 second gap, but he's not catching Fraser anytime soon. Ginge, there goes Lee. There goes NGR Martin now. Ginge has to use this to his advantage and build the gap to Martin to make sure he doesn't lose the place again. But Martin has this man all over the back of him. NGR Omega 1984. We head towards turn 1 though, and Lee W is a sitting duck, and Omega follows through as he goes wide. But he returns the favour on Martin, who must have gone a bit wider again, going through turn 1. So Lee W only loses 1 place and moves down to 6th now, with Martin on the back of him. Jack is trying to catch back up to Sandwalk 3. There's Whitford. And there's Royston. There's Sodigas, who's back up into 12th. In front of Shadowstalker DPS. The man who finished in 3rd earlier is now having a dismal race too. So as we come through then for the 9th time up towards Sagres. It's definitely a bit more a tighter midfield tonight here in race number 2. There's Lee W looking to defend away from Martin. Head down to turn number 1. Hits the brakes. Martin looking down the inside now, and it's not quite going to happen, but that is NGR Omega having issues through Lagos. They hit the brakes now down towards Tory Vip. NGR Omega looking to make it that time again. NGR Martin now has a track limits penalty. So how much time does he have to make up? Only 1 second, so he can still take Lee W's position without overtaking him, but if NGR Omega has anything to say about it, he won't let him. He'll try and overtake him instead. There's Jack TM53, he's now ahead of Sandwalk and Whitford. Omega, a little tap into Portimao for Martin. So we now head down towards the long left-hander of turn 10 up towards turn 11. Through turn 11 they go and up towards Sagres. Jack now joining on the back of this battle, and Sandwalk 3 not far behind. Definitely thinking maybe they can actually take out... Can Jack take all 3 of these cars potentially? And potentially get himself from 8th up into 5th here. Top 5 would be an amazing effort and recovery drive from him for the night. And Jack takes Omega through Lagos. It's a fantastic move down the inside. That puts him up into 7th. He's looking at Martin. He looks to the inside of Tory Vip maybe. He hits the brakes. He's down the inside of Tory Vip of Martin. And that's up into 6th. Jack TM35 Synopsis is a man possessed right now through Algarve. He's taking every McGann in sight. We'll have to defend though from Martin through. Here they go. Through Samsung and down toward Craig Jones. Down the hill, flick left. Jack, we'll have a look at him. He looks down the inside of Portimao. No, he can't quite get there. He's definitely looking very, very quick and very racy right now, is Jack. Maybe he's just saved a bit of tyre whilst on his comeback. He's got a bit more grip potentially. Head towards through Sagres and down towards Algarve they come. Through Algarve he comes, and that is Jack TM, 53 synopsis, up into 5th, and a cracking recovery drive thus far from him. But he's going to have to defend from a train of cars who's going to be having slipstream. Lee W, oh, and that is looking 3 wide as a turn 1 behind. Has Omega got that? Yes, he has. He's managed to get, that is Martin, yes. He's managed to get Martin on the way through, but Martin has responded by switching back and getting him back out through Lagos. So a fantastic bit of racecraft there from Martin again. Backed out of the 3 wide, letting Omega through. And using the, getting earlier on the throttle to then get back up the inside for Lagos at the next turn. Jack has now pulled out a 0.7 second advantage over Lee W. The lead at the top is coming down, is now at 3 seconds. It's fluctuating between 3 and 3.5, so it's a very interesting stuff going on up there. As Jack keeps going through. Down through turn 11 up towards Sagas. Down towards Algarve they come for the 12th time of 14. And that is Scooby. I do believe, yes, Scooby has Shadow Racing behind him, and Scooby now has a cut track penalty of 2 seconds. So this now is the battle for second outright now. This is going to get interesting with 2 laps to go. Shadow Racing suddenly can get second place. What a phenomenal achievement that will be for him against the current championship leader. As we head through Toriveb up towards turn 6. Keep an eye on this, and there's one because Jack is being hunted down by Lee W. Martin has Omega right behind him. Back to the top end though, and Scooby coming through Craig Jones and up towards Portimao. See NGR Fraser in the background. We've not seen much of him because he's kind of just gone out front and cruised it so far. We turn 10 up towards turn 11. Up to turn 11 and down to the long right hander now. Lovely stuff. Here you come down to Algarve for the penultimate time of this race here in the Modern Touring Car Championship at NXTGEN Season 11. Martin obviously nursing that penalty of 1 second. So is he a second ahead of Omega? No, he's not. So Omega may well take this position regardless of track position right now. the brakes for Omega. There they go. Bit wide for Omega, so he may have to slow down now for a track infringement. Head back up to the top end though on this, the final lap, the final time through Torre VIP. The lead coming down, but I think that's Fraser just managing this race, trying to make sure that he doesn't ruin the chance to win this race. As Scooby has pulled a slight gap over Shadows Racing here of 0.7. Now 7 seconds through up to Craig Jones. Lead W, yes, that is NGR Omega 1984 has slowed down, potentially for a track infringement penalty. Slow down. Back up to the top. NGR Scooby still holding off. Martin having a look now. If you can get, he's within a second of Lee W, which would happily put him in front of him on track after penalties are applied. But that is Jack looking for 4th place at the end of the race, and he will get it because he's not got a penalty. But we head back to the front. NGR Fraser, a clinical display of driving from the man in the McCann. He comes up the hill for the final time, and he takes the checkered flag here at Algarve. A fantastic race win for the man. As Scooby G comes home in second. Third is Shadow Racing. Jack completes an unbelievable recovery drive from practically last all the way up to 4th. A cracking drive with Ginge behind him. Lead W in 6th, but I think that place will go to Martin. Finishes 7th on the screen. Omega is now in 7th. There's Martin in 8th. Sandbach finishes 9th. Whitford is 10th. 11th is Royston. Slidergas will come in 12th, and 13th for Shadowstalker Caesar retiring. That's a bit wide, that from Did Martin? Yes, Martin had a 4-second penalty in the end. So that drops him down to 8th. So Lee W keeps his 6th place, but with Omega gaining up to 7th. So a fantastic drive there. Slidergas comes home for 12th. And here comes Shadowstalker DBS to round it out 13th. It's kind of like a lucky number for him right now. So he's finishing all the time. Caesar obviously retiring from the race on lap 1, but here comes Shadowstalker to finish off the race. And a fantastic drive from NGR Fraser. So the final results are as follows. Fraser wins from Scooby G. Shadow Racing. Jack is 4th. A drive of the day for me, that one for Jack. From the back to 4th. Ginge is 5th. Lee W is 6th. Omega 7th. Martin 8th. Sandwalk is 9th. Whitford is 10th. Royston is 11th. Slidergas is 12th. Shadowstalker DBS is 13th. And Caesar retired without finishing a lap. So the next round for these guys here in the Modern Touring Car Championship will be at Zolder next week, the 4th of June. Laps are to be confirmed at the moment, but it will be Zolder for round 9 next week here for the Modern Touring Car Championship. Here at NXTGEN Season 11. Plenty of stuff happening during the week, but the next thing I will be streaming and commentating on will be Friday's Janetta Junior race, which will be an absolute cracker, I think, around Long Beach. But from here in Algarve, NGR Fraser takes the final win of the champion of this night, and we go away from here. Scooby G, a happy man with 2 great results to go towards his championship. I thank you all for watching tonight. I will see you soon, and the next time here at NXTGEN.